talked enough, explained enough, begged enough for people to understand you. But power doesn't live in explanations, it lives in execution. The world doesn't care about your plans, your dreams, or your pain. It only bows to results. So stop speaking like you're already there. Start moving like no one's watching, because no one should be. The loud ones always fall first. They brag, they flex, they show their cards, and then wonder why they lose the game. But the quiet ones are dangerous. They sit still while the crowd burns itself out. They don't compete for attention. They compete for control. Their silence isn't weakness, it's warfare. Every second you talk, you give away leverage. Every word you waste, someone else is working. Let them talk, let them post, let them drown in their noise. You disappear. You evolve in private. Let your actions speak a language no one can copy. Power grows in shadows. Discipline feeds in solitude. And when the world finally sees you again, it won't recognize you. Comment this right now. My silence builds empires. Say it, mean it, own it, because from this moment on, you speak only through results. 1. The hidden rule of power. Power doesn't shout, it whispers. It doesn't move fast, it moves precisely. While others rush to be seen, you must learn the discipline of invisibility. Understand this: attention is a drug. The more you crave it, the weaker you become. Those who constantly need validation are slaves to the crowd. But those who work in silence, they command from the shadows. You are not here to entertain the world. You are here to conquer yourself, and through yourself, everything else. Machiavelli taught that appearances rule men, but only substance rules reality. So create both. Build a version of yourself that the world can see, calm, controlled, untouchable. And beneath that surface, sharpen your mind like a blade. Every word you say should have purpose. Every action, calculation. The people around you will never understand your silence. They'll call it arrogance, distance, even coldness. Let them. Their confusion is your camouflage. While they chase applause, you'll chase mastery. The rule is simple: never show your full hand. The more they think they know you, the more they can control you. Stay unpredictable. Move with quiet aggression. Build your empire while they're busy explaining their dreams. Because when silence meets discipline, power multiplies. And when you finally reveal yourself, when you step from the shadows, the noise will stop. Not because they respect you, but because they'll finally fear you. Comment this and lock it into your psyche. I move in silence, but my results are loud. 2. Detach from validation. Validation is the modern poison. It disguises itself as connection, but its goal is control. The moment you start living for approval, you hand your power to those who can withhold it. That's how people become puppets, smiling on command, performing for acceptance. You're not here to be liked, you're here to be respected. And respect comes from silence, not applause. Understand this: every time you explain yourself, you surrender leverage. Every time you justify your vision, you make it smaller. The great minds, the predators of history, never begged to be understood. They built in silence, endured in solitude, and emerged with results that silenced critics. That's the Machiavellian way. Let your outcomes argue for you. Detach from likes, comments, recognition, the need to be seen. The man who needs attention is predictable. The man who can walk away from it, unstoppable. You don't chase eyes, you train focus. You don't react to noise, you calculate through it. The crowd moves emotionally, you move strategically. They'll call you cold. Let them. They'll call you distant. Good, you're not cold, you're composed. You're not distant, you're disciplined. You understand what they don't. Validation dilutes purpose. Every second you spend explaining your silence, you weaken its power. Detach until nothing external moves you. No praise, no criticism, no comparison. That's when you become dangerous, because they can't manipulate what they can't reach. You operate like a ghost, unseen, unaffected, unbroken. Every emotion becomes a tool, every response a weapon. They play checkers with feelings, you play chess with reality. Let them watch your surface while you sculpt your empire underground. When they finally see the result, they'll call it luck, but you'll know it was silence, strategy, and self-control. Comment this to seal your mindset. I no longer seek validation, I create proof. 3. Embrace isolation as power. Isolation is not punishment, it's purification. The weak run from it because they fear meeting themselves. The strong seek it because they understand solitude is where transformation begins. The world will tell you that being alone is dangerous, and it is, but not for the reasons they think. It's dangerous because in isolation you strip away illusions. You start to see who you really are, without the noise, without the masks, without the validation. And that truth, that raw, unfiltered version of you, terrifies most people, but not you. You learn to sit in it. You learn to feed off it. Because when you can control your mind in silence, no crowd can ever control you in chaos. Isolation is the forge of mental armor. It burns the weakness out of you. It teaches patience, restraint, and precision, the 3 pillars of lasting power. In solitude, you stop reacting and start observing. You see the patterns, how people expose themselves through their words, their habits, their ego. You start predicting outcomes before they happen. That's not arrogance, that's awareness. And awareness, when mastered, becomes control. You'll notice something else. The deeper you go into isolation, the quieter your emotions become. You no longer crave company, you crave purpose. You no longer chase comfort, you chase clarity. You no longer look for people to understand you, because you understand yourself. That's when you become untouchable, because nothing external defines you anymore. No praise lifts you, no insult moves you, no betrayal surprises you. You start moving like a ghost, detached, focused, unshakable, and people will feel that energy. They'll sense it before you speak. They'll respect you or they'll fear you. Both are victories. Understand this. Every great mind, every empire builder, every quiet conqueror mastered isolation. Machiavelli studied men alone. Marcus Aurelius ruled from solitude. Even predators hunt alone before they lead the pack. Isolation is not withdrawal from the world, it's preparation to dominate it. So when you find yourself alone, don't escape it. Sit in the silence until it bends to your will. Train your mind to find comfort in discipline, not distraction. Because once you do, you'll realize that isolation isn't the absence of power, it's the birthplace of it. Comment this now. My solitude is my strategy. Remember it. Breathe it. Live it. 4. Control emotion, command power. Emotion is the first weapon used against you. The moment they can make you react, they own you. Control of emotion is not about suppression, it's about strategy. The wise don't fight emotion. They study it, master it, weaponize it. Understand this. Every empire has fallen because someone let emotion override judgment. Anger blinds logic. Ego blinds caution. Attachment blinds power. When you let emotions lead, you surrender control of the board. And in the Machiavellian game of life, losing control means losing everything. You must learn to see emotion as data. Feel it, identify it, dissect it, then decide if it serves your purpose. If it doesn't, you discard it without hesitation. That's not coldness, that's clarity. Coldness is simply clarity without apology. They'll try to provoke you with disrespect, with envy, with subtle manipulation. But when you remain unmoved, they crumble. Because the world is addicted to reaction. Most people need drama to feel alive. You need discipline to stay dangerous. Machiavelli wrote, "The wise man does at once what the fool does finally." That means you don't wait for emotions to pass. You outthink them in real time. You train your instinct to respond with logic, not impulse. You let your silence speak when words would reveal your weakness. Never let anger speak for you. Never let sadness dictate your moves. And never let love blind your strategy. Even love in excess is a liability. Affection must be balanced by awareness. Empathy must be filtered through logic. The man who feels deeply but acts strategically, he is rare and unstoppable. Your emotions should fear your mind. You are not the slave of your mood. Your mood is the servant of your mission. Control emotion and you control energy. Control energy and you control direction. Control direction and you control destiny. Let others be unpredictable. You be unshakable. Let them fight with feelings. You fight with facts. Let them burn out. You burn colder, longer, sharper. Because when emotion meets control, power emerges. Your calm will disturb the insecure. Your silence will expose the weak. And your restraint, your ability to feel everything yet reveal nothing, will make you untouchable. That is command. That is psychological warfare at its purest form. Comment this now to mark your evolution. My calm is my weapon. Because from this point forward, emotion serves only one master, you. 6. Mastering the art of deception. Truth is valuable only when it serves power. Everything else is theater. If you want to move through this world untouched, you must understand one thing. People don't see reality, they see performance. And he who controls perception controls power. Deception isn't lying for pleasure, it's strategy for survival. It's the art of revealing just enough to direct attention while you move unseen in the background. Every powerful man in history, every emperor, every ruler, every conqueror mastered the mask. They smiled while plotting. They agreed while calculating. They lost battles to win wars. Machiavelli warned, "A wise ruler cannot and should not keep his word when such fidelity would harm him." That line isn't cruelty, it's realism. The world rewards manipulation wrapped in charm. To play clean in a dirty arena is not moral strength, it's suicide. Understand the layers. Level 1, honesty for approval. That's weakness. Level 2, deception for control. That's awareness. Level 3, transparency as a tool. That's mastery. You decide which level serves your mission. You don't owe anyone the truth about your intentions. You owe yourself progress. The moment you expose your full strategy, you invite sabotage. That's why the quiet are feared. They cannot be read. Silence is the first deception. Calm is the second. Unpredictability is the third. Together, they form the holy trinity of invisible power. Never show desperation. Never reveal what you truly want. If they know your desires, they own your direction. Hide your motives behind layers of logic, humor, and patience. Let them believe they've figured you out. Let them feel clever while you move 2 steps ahead. Deception is not about cruelty, it's about protection. It shields your mind from intrusion and your plan from interception. The naive call it manipulation. The wise call it discretion. You must study human nature as if dissecting an enemy. Observe how easily people betray themselves through words, tone, eyes, posture. They reveal more through reaction than confession. Use that, mirror them, adapt to them, lead them where you want them to go, all while appearing to follow. That's psychological jujitsu. In this world, perception is the real battlefield. The truth doesn't matter if people believe something else. Control their belief, and you control the outcome. That's why appearance is armor. Dress, speak, and act as the person they can't question. Then maneuver freely underneath the illusion. But remember, deception without discipline becomes chaos. Never lie unnecessarily. Never create confusion you can't control. The goal isn't to fool everyone, it's to guide everyone's expectations. You move the narrative like a chess master moving pawns, precise, silent, inevitable. Emotion ruins deception. The moment you feel guilt, hesitation, or anger, your mask cracks. Detach completely. View people not through affection or hate, but through utility. Who helps your vision moves forward. Who threatens it gets silence or distance. That's not cruelty, it's sovereignty. Learn to deceive even your own weaknesses. Convince your mind you're calm when you're breaking. Convince your enemies you're confident when you're calculating. Convince the world you're finished, then return sharper. This is not hypocrisy. This is warfare of the mind. And when you master it, when your smile hides storms and your silence hides strategies, you'll notice something profound. People will start trusting your mask more than they trust themselves. That's ultimate power. Influence without force. They'll follow you, fearing to admit they're being led. They'll praise your honesty while living inside your illusion. And when they finally realize the truth, you'll already be too far ahead to catch. That is the essence of Machiavellian mastery. The invisible dominance of perception over reality. Comment this to seal your evolution. I control perception, therefore I control power. Remember it, repeat it, because deception, when disciplined by silence and purpose, doesn't corrupt you, it crowns you. 7. The discipline of ruthless focus. Focus is the purest form of power, not strength, not talent, not luck. Focus, because what you give attention to, you give life to, and what you ignore dies. Most men fail not because they lack ability, but because they bleed energy into everything that doesn't matter. Distraction is the modern disease. Focus is the last cure. The world has engineered you to scatter your attention. Endless noise, cheap validation, 1,000 invisible hooks dragging you away from your mission. You can't conquer anything externally until you first conquer your attention internally. The Machiavellian mind is surgical. It cuts away everything that doesn't serve the strategy. You must train yourself to see time as currency, energy as capital, and focus as the investment that multiplies both. Every notification, every pointless conversation, every unnecessary emotion, theft. And thieves deserve execution. Understand, focus is not about doing more, it's about eliminating more. The ruthless don't chase 10 targets, they destroy one. They move with intent, strike with precision, and leave silence behind. When you can narrow your vision to one outcome and starve everything else, you start bending reality in your favor. Ruthless focus is self-control weaponized. It demands discipline so cold that most people will mistake it for obsession. And that's fine. Obsession is just focus with endurance. Machiavelli would call it necessita, the necessity to act with purpose, even when emotion begs for comfort. You must become immune to distraction, even the subtle ones disguised as opportunity. Not every door deserves to be opened. Not every call deserves to be answered. The man of focus doesn't react. He filters. Every yes costs a piece of your empire, so you learn to say no with authority. Polite, direct, final, because scattered energy builds nothing. Concentrated energy builds empires. There is a silence that comes with deep focus, an eerie calm where time slows, noise fades, and your mind sharpens to a single blade. That state is sacred. Protect it like a fortress. In that stillness, strategy forms, insight emerges, and execution becomes effortless. Most people never touch it because they fear boredom, but boredom is the doorway to mastery. If you can sit in the quiet grind while others chase stimulation, you will outlast them all. To cultivate ruthless focus, you must remove 3 poisons: comparison, multitasking, and approval. Comparison kills originality. Multitasking kills efficiency. Approval kills instinct. Each one fragments the mind, divides the will, and weakens the empire within. When you purge them, what remains is clarity, cold, clean, unstoppable clarity. People will try to pull you off your path. They'll disguise distraction as friendship, urgency, even love. But loyalty to your mission must come before loyalty to their comfort. You are not here to be understood. You are here to be effective. When they accuse you of being distant, it means your focus is working. When they call you obsessed, it means you're escaping their mediocrity. Wear both labels like armor. Ruthless focus also demands structure. Without structure, passion burns out. With it, passion becomes power. Build routines that serve your mission, not your mood. Wake, work, refine, repeat. The repetition is not punishment, it's programming. You are coding your mind for dominance. Remember, what you focus on expands. Focus on chaos. You become chaotic. Focus on order. You become composed. Focus on mastery, and mastery becomes inevitable. Every thought is a seed. Focus is the sunlight deciding which ones live. Detach from everything that doesn't multiply your purpose. Entertainment, gossip, pointless arguments, starvation diet. Feed only what builds your mind, your craft, your empire. Soon, your entire presence becomes sharper, heavier, magnetic. People will feel it. They'll sense you've become something rare, a man immune to noise. That's ruthless focus, not intensity for a day, but consistency for a lifetime. The longer you hold it, the fewer opponents remain, because distraction kills faster than defeat. And while they scatter their energy across everything, you'll channel yours into one unstoppable direction. Comment this now to etch it into your mindset. My focus is my fortress. Repeat it until it's truth. Because in a distracted world, the focused man is not just powerful, he's inevitable. 8. Power through detachment. Detachment is not indifference, it is mastery. It is the ability to feel everything and still choose nothing that weakens you. When you detach, you don't stop caring, you stop bleeding. You stop letting external chaos rewrite your internal order. The world worships attachment. It tells you to stay connected, stay available, stay emotional. But connection without control is corruption. Availability without boundaries is slavery. Emotion without logic is destruction. And you were not built to be destroyed. You were built to dominate. Detachment is the quiet revolution of the mind. It's what separates the powerful from the desperate. When you can walk away from everything that owns others, you begin to own yourself. Machiavelli wrote that men should be either feared or loved, but never dependent. Dependency breeds weakness. Detachment breeds freedom. To master detachment, begin with the body. Train yourself to act without craving reward. Wake early, work hard, eat clean, build strength, not because someone is watching, but because discipline is your religion. When you stop needing recognition, you start generating respect. Every repetition is a reminder, I control me. Then move to the mind. The mind is a battlefield filled with emotional traps. Fear, lust, envy, nostalgia, each one a leash waiting to drag you off course. Study them, name them, disarm them. When you feel anger, slow your breath. When you feel desire, slow your decisions. When you feel pain, slow your thoughts. That's how you teach the mind who's in charge. Next, detach from outcomes. Most people suffer because they confuse control with influence. You can control effort, you can only influence result. Detach from the result and double down on the process. Results come to those who deserve them, not those who demand them. The man who chases outcomes burns out. The man who builds systems wins forever. Detachment doesn't mean isolation from people. It means insulation from dependence. You can love deeply and still be free. You can lead others without needing their applause. You can connect without collapsing because your foundation is internal. When you know who you are, relationships become additions, not anchors. This is why emotional control is a threat to average minds. Most people build identity on reaction. Who hurt them, who loved them, who ignored them. But you build identity on intention. You decide how to feel, when to feel, and whether feeling serves function. That's not coldness, that's precision. Imagine two men in a storm. One fights the wind, screaming at the rain. The other stands still, observes, waits, and moves when the path clears. Both face the same chaos. One wastes energy, the other saves it. That's detachment in motion. To practice it, remove excess noise, excess opinions, excess possessions. Minimalism isn't aesthetic, it's armor. When you carry less, you move faster. When you need less, you negotiate from power. Detach until everything left in your life is chosen, not clung to. Understand, detachment is not withdrawal from emotion, but dominion over it. You still feel love, but you are not blinded by it. You still feel pain, but you are not paralyzed by it. You still feel ambition, but you are not enslaved by it. This is the quiet confidence of the Stoic and the strategist alike. Machiavelli would have called it virtù, the strength to bend fortune through discipline. Fortune favors the man who cannot be broken by gain or loss. When success comes, you remain calm. When failure hits, you remain calm. Because neither defines you, both instruct you. Detach from approval, detach from judgment, detach from the illusion that anyone owes you understanding. Most will never comprehend your silence, your focus, your distance, and that's exactly how it should be. Their confusion is proof that you're operating on a higher frequency. When you detach, you stop negotiating your worth. You stop chasing validation. You start conserving energy, and energy, conserved, becomes power. The quiet confidence of a detached man unsettles people because it exposes their dependency. They can't read you. They can't manipulate you. They can't control you. That's when respect replaces attention. To stay detached, practice disappearance. Step away from noise regularly. Disappear from social cycles that drain you. Disappear from conversations that dull you. Each disappearance refuels your sovereignty. You return sharper, colder, calmer, a weapon forged in solitude. Understand, too, that detachment doesn't remove compassion. It refines it. When you're not owned by emotion, your kindness becomes deliberate. You choose when to give, not because you must, but because you can. That choice, conscious, controlled, clear, is the highest form of strength. So train your detachment daily. Audit your emotions, starve your impulses, feed your discipline. Detach until nothing external can disturb your internal empire. Because when the storm rises, the detached don't drown, they observe. You will know you've reached mastery when peace no longer depends on circumstances, when chaos swirls and you remain still, when you lose everything and you lose nothing inside. That's real freedom. That's untouchable power. Comment this now to anchor it in your mind. My detachment is my dominance. Repeat it, engrave it, live it, because when nothing owns you, everything serves you. 9. The power of strategic relationships. Power does not live in isolation. It grows in networks. Even the lone wolf hunts within an ecosystem. He knows where the herd drinks, where the pack moves, where the silence hides opportunity. Strategic relationships are that ecosystem. They are not friendships, they are alliances. And alliances are currencies of power. The weak chase popularity. The wise cultivate influence. You don't need crowds, you need connections that multiply your reach, protect your blind spots, and extend your capability when you're not in the room. That's the quiet geometry of success. A few deliberate bonds built on respect, not emotion. Understand the rule. Never attach to people, align with them. Attachment is emotional. Alignment is intentional. Attachment drains, alignment builds. Every person you allow into your orbit must either add strength, information, or momentum. If they don't, they dilute you, and dilution is death to focus. Machiavelli wrote that men must either be caressed or crushed. In modern terms, that means define every connection clearly. Either you build with them, or you build past them. Ambiguity breeds weakness. Clarity breeds control. Start with observation. Before you speak, study. People reveal their use before they know it. Their habits expose reliability. Their language exposes loyalty. Their reactions expose ambition. Never rush to trust. Verify patterns. A man's consistency tells you more than his promises. Then, cultivate value. Influence begins with contribution. Be the person whose presence improves the situation. The calm voice, the problem solver, the resource. Value creates gravity. People orbit what empowers them. When your presence equals progress, alliances form naturally, and you never have to chase them. But remember, give without dependence. Never make others your emotional investment. Help them, guide them, but remain sovereign. Dependency invites betrayal. Autonomy prevents it. You can share goals without sharing control. There are 3 levels of relationship in power. Level 1, tactical. These serve immediate objectives, temporary, transactional, useful. Level 2, strategic. These connect resources and reputation, mutual, respectful, professional. Level 3, philosophical, rare, enduring bonds built on shared principles. Protect level 3, rotate level 1, maintain level 2. This structure keeps loyalty clean and energy protected. To manage alliances, master perception. People follow strength wrapped in stability. They need to feel your certainty before they hear your words. You don't persuade through emotion. You persuade through example. When you are composed under pressure, others instinctively align with you. Calm is authority in disguise. Control your tone, posture, and timing. Never speak to impress, speak to influence. Ask questions that expose truth. Listen longer than you talk. Silence forces revelation. Every pause is a mirror. People fill it with honesty. In negotiation, patience is your weapon. Never rush to agree. The one who speaks first often concedes leverage. Wait, measure, calculate. Let others reveal their needs, then tailor your response precisely to those needs. This is not manipulation, it's strategy with awareness. You're matching value with precision, not deceit. Every alliance must rest on reciprocity. If both sides grow, the bond strengthens. If one side bleeds, resentment forms. Check the balance often. Give credit publicly, guidance privately, correction silently. That combination builds loyalty deeper than any contract. Still, prepare for betrayal. Humans are consistent in one thing, their inconsistency. Expect it, don't fear it. When you anticipate betrayal, it loses power to wound. Keep your guard professional, not paranoid. Document, delegate, and detach when loyalty fades. Never revenge, replace. Efficiency is the cleanest revenge. The most powerful relationships are those in which both parties respect boundaries. Never overexpose your personal life. Mystery maintains authority. Let them know your strength, never your schedule. Let them hear your results, never your process. Information control is image control. You'll meet 3 types of people on your rise: the curious, the envious, and the aligned. The curious want to study you. Teach them nothing. The envious want to mirror you. Ignore them completely. The aligned want to build beside you. Invest in them fully. Curate relentlessly. Your circle is your reflection. When you operate this way, you'll notice something. Your world gets smaller but sharper. Fewer people, deeper trust, cleaner communication. That's when synergy appears. 2 disciplined minds combining precision into force. That's the multiplier effect of strategic relationship. 1 + 1 equals momentum. To sustain this power, practice gratitude without dependence. Respect those who aid your mission. Acknowledge, reward, protect, but never kneel. Gratitude builds goodwill. Attachment builds chains. Your allies should walk beside you, not above you, not below you. Remember, you are both student and strategist. Learn from every interaction. People are textbooks of psychology. Read them. Study how flattery works, how ego reacts, how fear drives behavior. Then, act accordingly. The goal is not domination, but direction, guiding energy toward shared elevation. If conflict arises, handle it with precision. Anger wastes leverage. Respond with facts, not feelings. When others lose temper, you gain territory. The calm man owns the narrative. Keep records, keep dignity, keep moving. As your influence grows, new alliances will seek you. Most will approach for gain, few for growth. Test them through time. Loyalty proven slowly lasts longest. Never confuse enthusiasm with reliability. Reliability is quiet. Enthusiasm is loud. Choose quiet. Finally, remember, power in relationships is not about control over others. It's about control over yourself within others' presence. You remain grounded while they orbit. You maintain clarity while emotions rise. You protect the mission when charm tries to soften it. This is composure under social pressure, the rarest skill of all. When you can walk among people without losing your focus, when praise doesn't inflate you and criticism doesn't wound you, you've mastered connection without corruption. You are friendly but never dependent, approachable but never available to chaos. That balance makes you magnetic and untouchable at once. The ultimate strategy: treat every person as a mirror, not a master. See their reflection, learn from it, move on. Some will teach patience, some will teach caution. A rare few will teach greatness. But no one should teach you who you are. That lesson belongs to silence alone. So build your circle like an empire, fortified, functional, and filled with purpose. No wasted walls, no broken gates, no traitors inside. Every connection deliberate, every alliance aligned. Because in the end, power is never solitary. Even kings need counsel, even generals need scouts, even wolves need the pack. But the difference between you and the rest is that you choose your pack with precision. Comment this now to lock it into your mindset. My circle is my strategy. Repeat it, live it. Because when relationships are chosen with calculation and maintained with respect, they stop being risks and start becoming empires. 10. The untouchable mind. Power ends where reaction begins. An untouchable mind is a fortress built from discipline, silence, and self-command. When nothing external can shake your internal order, you become ungovernable. Most people are slaves to stimulus. A word offends them, a loss breaks them, a delay drains them. But the untouchable mind observes, adapts, and remains unmoved. It feels emotion, yet obeys reason. It listens to noise, yet answers only to purpose. This mind is not born, it's built, forged through repetition, tested by isolation, hardened by rejection. Every hardship you faced was a brick, every failure, mortar. Pain was never punishment, it was training. Machiavelli wrote that fortune favors the prepared. Preparation is mental armor. When you study patterns, expect betrayal, anticipate chaos, you stop being surprised. And when surprise dies, fear dies with it. That is immunity. The untouchable mind never argues, it calculates, never competes for attention, it commands it. It does not chase approval, it builds inevitability. Calm is its currency, clarity its weapon, consistency its legacy. Each morning, you decide whether you'll be moved by pressure or powered by it. The weak feel, the strong convert feeling into focus. When insulted, you analyze. When doubted, you double down. When abandoned, you adapt. Every outcome becomes fuel, not wound. You reach mastery when peace no longer depends on comfort. When success humbles you and failure sharpens you. When the same silence that once felt heavy now feels holy. That's the summit. Stillness under storm. Purpose under pain. Comment this to mark your evolution. My mind is my fortress. Say it until belief becomes instinct. Because when you control perception, emotion, and time, nothing controls you. You stop surviving reality and start designing it. This is the final law of power. Be calm, be precise, be untouchable. Like, subscribe, and turn on notifications because the world needs fewer followers and more fortresses.